It's pretty quiet today, but I guess it's a strange time to be coming down to the beach. When summer comes, this place will be infested with tourists and families again. It's quite irritating. But for now, I'm alone. Everything's just quiet, and I can actually hear myself think. The city can be suffocating. Everything is always moving and changing. Time passes by without notice. It's rather sad.
The city. Half the time, you're being bombarded with crowds, smells, noises, you name it. It's kind of ironic that in a city of 7 million people, everyone seems to be indifferent to one another. When you walk down the street, you're basically walking alone. The city. Always moving, always changing. There's just no time to stop. Maybe that's the reason I keep coming back to this place. This beach.
Nothing ever changes here. Every grain of sand feels familiar. I can always hear the birds calling, smell fresh salt in the air, and see this beautiful glow of white and blue. There's nothing quite like it. There's more of a reason as to why I come here so often, though. While everyone appreciates a little peace and quiet sometimes, for me, it's a necessity. I'm not purposely looking for solitude. I'm not one who enjoys dwelling on things particularly. Even when I do, there's a reason. An interesting, if not strange, explanation. You see, I have synaesthesia. Most people have never even heard of my condition. I hadn't, not before I was properly diagnosed and all. It really is one of the strangest things to be afflicted with. Not that the doctors ever called it an affliction. In fact, they were more intrigued than anything else, and kept telling me what I have is truly remarkable. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean, except that whatever I see is simply unknown to others. I can still remember the first time I tasted blue on the tip of my tongue, and saw lights, dancing, upon hearing my first song. I didn't hear the melody. I saw only bursts of red and green, swirling, floating. These were infinite shades of beauty. It felt as if I was listening to a special sonnet. Except, I was of course not hearing it. This sonnet was addressed only to me, in a way too inexplicable to genuinely express. But one day, everything stopped. There was no reason for it. They told me I would never get it back. Something neurologically related. They weren't sure. All I knew was that I no longer had synaesthesia. It was then that I was no longer remarkable. The world that appeared before me was so empty and still. For the first time in my life, I heard the sound of silence.
Do you talk to anyone about this? Your friends? Family?
No. They wouldn't know what to say.
Well, I don't either.
I know. But it's not your fault. There's no way you could understand. But I guess, in a way... Alright, but this may sound stupid, but there's not many ways I can eloquently put this into words. I feel disabled. It's like losing a limb. I don't want to sound all melodramatic and all, but that's what it feels like. And that's not the worst part.
Then what is?
I loved having synesthesia. It made me feel things more deeply than everyone else. I was different, special. But now I feel nothing. Everything just passes me by. I can no longer hold on to moments in time.
Yes, but nobody can, and nobody should.
All my life, I've experienced moments with absolute clarity. The world was always fresh. Nothing ever seemed to fade. I felt as if every second of my life was worth something. And so, I held on to every smell, every sound, and every ray of light. But that was all just a silly illusion. Life doesn't have to be painted in beautiful shades of colors and sound. I was only afraid of losing the part of myself that was strange and true. I feared change. But synesthesia never defined me. I can still see beauty in the world. It's right there in front of me. Everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be.